Hi everyone, so today we're going to look at King Charles, a check-in on him and see what else we get for the next 4 weeks. I think it might go up to 6 weeks, but in this time period, if I feel called to, like if there's an energy change or I feel called to, we can do a check-in. So it's always worth having your vote, and obviously the videos that you do like, make sure you do like, make sure you support them, make sure you comment, engage. You can also share to try and get the growth on the channel, and you can become a member. There's 2 different tiers of becoming a membership and Patreon, where there's always exclusive content, whether it's the members or Patreon, and also live. So there are other options as well. And there's the PayPal link for like buy a coffee, there's the super thanks. But like I said, if you just support the readings that you enjoy, even by leaving a comment, if you engage during the live, a comment afterwards always helps as well. So I think I'm recording this on the 14th of September, but the energy is going to be valid for when we see it. I think this 3rd week of September, but especially as we go into October, is going to be quite challenging for King Charles. And I also get that he might have some travel plans. I don't know if anything is announced around that. I don't necessarily think it's a holiday. I think it's more or less, the king is visiting kind of stuff. I do think there's travel plans, and I don't mean like just going from one area in the UK to the other. I think like travel abroad, which will be interesting to hear, because when you're having treatment like this, one thing is not to travel if your immune system is not strong enough. It's one thing the NHS did with a relative. They didn't advise, and the relative travelled. My relative, and it just went into a bad, it was not, it just caused a downturn. So I am getting travel, which is a bit surprising for me, but there might be something on the cards that we hear of, or something that was in the background but we don't hear of it because he cancels. But I do get an energy of travel around him. So his focus around health is going to be very important. I do think Camila is still being very loyal to him. I don't know about now, but I would say that they've always had a good passion between them. So even like extra activities, they do have that kind of, I think he has like a bit of I think both sides actually have like a bit of a hypnotic effect on each other. I don't know if this is true, but I do think if he gets really angry, he could have a bit of a temper. And I don't mean anything along of abuse or anything like that, and I've said the word. I mean anything, just like some people do have a bit of a hot temper. Now I'm going to move this away. One of the things I wanted to do in this read is actually to what was it I wanted to do? I wanted to check on what he thinks of Prince Andrew. Remember, this is a disclaimer. It's for entertainment purposes only. Please use your own fact-finding and research. So yeah, she's very devoted. He's a bit hypnotized by her. I do think that if I were to pull up a synastry in their chart, that there might be the energy of the 3rd party, which would have been actually his marriage to Diana, and she's like the 3rd party, and like his deception to Diana. Because I do think there is a deception energy, and I think it relates back to that. His 76th birthday is coming up as well, so we might do a reading then. But I do think that change is coming in terms of his health. It could be around his ruling. It is coming within this period that I'm talking about. But he's going to be having exceptional love and support from his family and Camila, which is beautiful for us to know. His health at certain points are going to be drained, okay? I do feel that. But he is still very devoted, and we've seen it. To be honest with you, I think he's the only one that I've seen really out there doing things. I mean, he visited Southport. I think Prince William could have done that. Like, I've not seen Prince William take on some of his duties. And I just think King Charles is really trying to do the best for the country. And it's interesting to know where he is on his treatment stage, especially if there's that energy of travel. But we'll have to see, because it's like, I get that energy psychically, but then with his health, it won't be something that I would probably say was happening, but we'll have to see. Let's see what he thinks of Prince Andrew. And when I say this, I get strongly he thinks of a headache. He has a headache about it, like he just thinks it's a massive headache. So what does King Charles think of Prince Andrew's kinky, unacceptable behaviour and things he's done? What does King Charles think? I'm taking this one. Oh. He definitely thinks that it's caused a really big end to his image, but also he feels like it's been a significant change on the way royalty has been seen by the public. Like, there's been an end of the way royalty has been seen and respected because of that. And I can understand that as well. And then we've got the Hanged Man in reverse and the Ace of Swords. Let's continue. This is slipped out, so, you know, Two of Pentacles is there. But the Hanged Man in reverse with the Ace of Swords is really interesting. The Death card. These are very strong cards. He feels that he's definitely self-sabotaged, and he has been very stubborn. He's not really made the right choices. And I know this might sound obvious, but I'm just saying, I know I'm reading what King Charles believes. And he's caused this change of the image. Yeah, the change of the image of the monarch, like I said. He also thinks that he's just thinking about it, like what would be the way forward. It seems like every time they try to maybe get over it, something new comes up in the news. But there is something here about, I don't want to say an epiphany, but it's kind of like he's waiting on something, or he has been, yeah, he's been waiting on something to come through. Three of Cups. I think he thinks there's more third-party energy that's been happening. It's kind of like, okay, I feel like this is going to come up again, or something around more third-party energy is going to be coming up. That happened during his marriage. This is Prince Andrew's marriage. How does he feel towards Andrew? How does he feel towards Andrew? Told to take this card. funny enough, he does feel like he can overcome it. He does feel like there is hope. And there's something about just Andrew putting his head down and working on things in the background. He does think that there's certain choices that he could make, that upcoming choices. So I wonder if he gives him that ability or not. But he does feel like there's wishful thinking, there's hope around this. But this, it's really strange, it's very strong energy. I don't know if his daughters are talking to him, but King Charles feels like if his daughters aren't talking to him, that relationship can be reconcilable. So I don't know how the energy is between him and his daughters, but there's something around that. He also believes that, for example, with his choices at the moment and in the future, if he makes the right choices, it could really get him out of this sort of energy that he's caused. I do think that it will always be tainted. There'll always be that tainted outlook about him, but just in general, there can be light at the end of the tunnel here, in terms of overcoming. It's interesting. He doesn't have any very negative energy towards him. I feel like it's more focused on how his daughters are viewing him, and he feels that there's some, there must be something with his daughters where they are really broken about this, not only because it's embarrassing and doing that sort of stuff, but especially if it was happening during the marriage, it's kind of like also dealing with the heartbreak that your dad's done this, not only the shame, and that is there within the daughters at the moment, and King Charles feels that can be reconcilable. The thing, but at the moment, there's at least one daughter that's not willing to. She's not talking to her dad, or if they're both not talking to her dad, there's one that's really stubborn on the way she's feeling about it, and there's just no knocking her door. But behind it all is someone that really wants her dad the dad that she knew, basically. And so there is a reconcilable energy in the future. It seems like King Charles is more focused on his family affairs, Prince Andrew's family affairs, as opposed to how he feels towards him as a brother, which is interesting. There's a bit of disengagement there. Okay, let's go on. I'm going to put these. Okay. So let's just look at how he's feeling at the moment. How is King Charles's health at the moment? How is he feeling at the moment? So we're looking at sort of now September-ish, okay? Self-worth. So he's... Okay, let's get the rest of the cards out. Expansion. So at the moment, we're really looking at, I say September time. He's really going to be focused on, there's going to be a questioning of his self-worth. And I think this is because he's not able to not implement, but expand and do everything he wants to do within this role at the moment, obviously because of his health. And that is making him question whether he really should be in the king place. He knows he should, but you know when you have those days that you alter, like, am I really worthy of this? There's a question of self-worth that he's really feeling. And sometime within September, he's going to be really on guard. There's going to be something that comes in that makes him, jolts him into kind of animal instinct. What do I mean by that? Where there's like a reflex action. You need to just take action straight away on something, which is very interesting. There might be not enough time to think of it mentally. It's like a reflex action, so it's nothing to do with your crown. His voice chakra, his throat chakra at this moment in time in September might be a bit blocked. So there's something that I feel he's either holding back, and it could be around these energies, but he's holding back, he's not talking about it. And this is actually going to dampen his motivation and his passion and fire to do stuff, which will also, in case you don't know, I'm an energy healer, reader as well, obviously, you know, from the channel, but, and cleanser. And so once it affects that motivation and fire within him, it will affect this chakra as well. So that's what we have there. Let's go leading into October. How is he feeling leading into October? So I'm looking until about the mid of October. It can go on. Remember, whenever you see this, it's the right time for you to see it. Don't get hooked on the dates. Do I take that? Yes, I'm told to take it. Okay, soulmate. How is he feeling in October? How is he feeling in October? I'm doing this because Spirit was like I should have taken a card that was at the top. Perseverance. Okay, so here in this, there's something about, there's a couple of things here coming in. He's going to have to be patient with his health and patient with a lot of stuff around him. Again, if we look at here where I said these chakras will be affected, we've got it here very much. And when these chakras are affected, then it's transpiring into October, which here he's questioning. This is not only about Camila, but I feel like there might be something where he feels that he's wondering if he's actually being tricked into something. Something's not being, he's not sure if he's being tricked into something or being told the whole truth. And it's interesting because we've got it linked here. We've got the throat chakra. Now, other than this, this is also his heart chakra coming into place. When we look at self-worth and we look at these cards as well, he then he's actually, you know, when you decide to, not when you decide, but when you look at your self-worth, you can become into sort of this victim mindset, right? Because you're kind of like, maybe he's like, for example, I was waiting all my life for this, but look at how it's come to me. It's come to me. And don't worry about that candle. It was already going out when I lit it, and I was wondering, shall I get another candle? Because I love to have fire or the light. But I decided that because there's kind of like a bit of sunlight shining in, we're okay. So that's nothing to do with it, and that's so overpowering. Can you actually see? It's so overpowering when it goes out. So let's just put that over it. Okay, so here, just going back to victim, it's like, how is his actions being connected to his inability to have certain breakthroughs, okay? Is he willing to make new choices in order to grow beyond where he feels actually stuck? There is here with this, there's a perseverance because there is a breakthrough and there is an empowerment here. He will be, you know, he needs to choose not to feel victimized in maybe his role or, you know, having the role after this moment in time in something within going into October and in October. Remember, we'll do a further check-in. You know, I want to say this is going into mid-October, but I do believe the energy is going to be very strong for him until the end of October. This period will be tense for him, even if we don't see it showing. Now, with the soulmate card, I just want to discuss that, because you might be thinking this is to do with Camila, and it might be, but also with this is about what truths is he embracing? What is he speaking? What is he not? Is he being authentic to his voice and what he believes? And I believe this is where he's holding back. There's something that he's holding back in terms of speaking his truth, and also being perseverant, speaking and being in a love energy, which can be difficult when you're challenged. There's a freedom here through a transformation chapter that he's going through. And there's also, which is going to be for us all, by the way, there's going to be something that's brought to light for him that he did not see. And it's for all of us during this period of time. Check the global psychic predictions, because I speak of this. There's going to be an unexpected outcome with new truths for him. And that should lead him to trust in certain things. Perseverance, he needs patience on all matters around him. And also be open to the loving support that comes in for him. Okay. I think I just did all that without the tarot. Did we do that without the tarot? Kind of. Let's look at what do we need to know about King Charles over the next 4 to 6 weeks? What do we need to know about King Charles? There's the king. He's got so much love for in his role. There are certain things that he is not able to see, and I think that's to do with future. There is some secrets that I believe they're working on in the royal family behind the scenes, and it is coming from him, okay? But look here where I said he needs to be in his heart space. There is something. There is a new beginning here, and it's like, I think he might start discussing, you remember in my readings I'm saying he's staying in that role until he feels William says, I'm ready. So King Charles is like, okay, I'm ready to give this over, but I'm not going to push it on you until you tell me. And so it's kind of like waiting for King Charles to say that, but then also William to accept it, because, you know, when I did the last one in July, and prior to that, it was kind of like William was in his own energy and there's so much happening with Princess Catherine. And so he was like, I can't put more pressure on him. It's interesting, I'm getting the letter M, but the M seems to be upside down. It seems, who's M? This letter M is a trickery energy. It's not coming from the right right heart space. I don't know who that is, but there's definitely discussions over the next 4 weeks with William about when he takes over. And the way he's doing it with William is from a very loving place. It's not like you'll take over and this is how we act as a king or whatever. It seems like he's actually in this energy, which maybe he didn't in the past, a very loving father way of doing it, which is very interesting. So Spirit said that I saw the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, which I did. And as I was shuffling, Spirit was like, you need to discuss that. I think he's also been advising William on his relationship with Princess Catherine and something around Princess Catherine, all right, especially as they go forward. And I want to talk about her video. Not all of you will agree with me with what I want to say about that video, but some of you will understand what I want to say about that video. And so I'm just waiting for the next energy check-in that we do for her. The energy that I've read on is still very much there. Remember I said there'll be an announcement. Remember I said Buckingham Palace or the Kensington, you know, the royals were waiting on it to announce from Kensington Palace. Not long after an announcement came out, we didn't expect it. I couldn't have known about it. And it's kind of like I said, that if she doesn't make a decision of when she's going to return back, that they will just say, oh, she's coming back maybe next year, as an example. And her message is, in fact, I'll let you know when I'll be back. I'm looking to take on a few more duties. But basically, we didn't get anything concrete, right? Very much what I predicted. I also predicted that she'd been watching social media a lot, and her advice is to really step away from that, okay? Either she was and she's getting more and more into it, or she had been and she needed to step away from that because it's not serving her. In the past, I've said that Princess Catherine will not come back as she used to. Her priorities have changed, and that video really elaborated it. So if you've not seen that reading, check it out. I don't get any validation on the psychic predictions and reads I do, but a lot of them, I can easily say 90%, and I can probably take it up to 95, 97% of the messaging I do comes in. The majority of it is there, right? So even if I wanted to say about little things here and there coming true, that's probably at 99.9%. But basically, do check the readings. And I know the channel's small, so when you're not a subscriber, you've not been here from the beginning, you're like, oh, this channel's small, so this person's probably not a trustworthy psychic, or not a psychic that you can really rely on. Sometimes it's just people that have started social media late and they've not had very much luck in terms of the growth on social media. How can that be helped? By you guys, right? So here we've definitely got that is appearing, and I don't know who. So I've got it from here, and I've got William's energy here. I don't know who this M as well, who could be M. There's some sort of their energy is not in the right place. So let's keep going. Yeah, although he will be feeling good in some aspects of his life, and I think this is to do with the way he's getting greeted as king, and I don't mean that in an egotistic, but if he's visiting certain places, it seems like he's welcomed with warmth. Can you remember when he became king? There was so many people that were like, I mean, if you don't agree with it, just don't disrespect people, but there was so many people that were like, this is not my king, and marches and stuff, and I, and booze and stuff thrown, and I felt like it was a bit disrespectful. At the end of the day, this is a human and has not even been king. Whether I advocate for him or not, I try to remain neutral when I do these readings. But he does feel some success around that. He will be challenged with his health, like I said, and some of the things that are coming up around his health, we're not going to be told about it. It's going to be kept to wraps, and that's where I felt that the energy of tension is going to be there. There is going to be a focus on the monarch, that includes discussions with William during this time. I do want to say, there's like a rat in the camp, and it's this M energy who is just not coming from a right place, but it's not going to affect, but there is somebody who's not coming from the right place here. King of Pentacles. Okay, I'm not going to take it, but I just wanted to show you. Getting told to look at the bottom of the deck. Four of Wands. He will have the loving support from his family, which I said to you is psychically. And there is a celebration here. There is some sort of celebration. And if you look at it, it's the warmth greeting. So I do think that he could be going somewhere. There is the loving support of his family. And there is good energy around him. So that's good. There's tension around his health, maybe some of his ruling time. The Four of Wands again, okay. I just did that because I'm not taking the second card because it was to take the first one. It's the Four of Wands. So there is that family support. Family and his home base is going to be very important during this moment in time. Yeah, again, there's going to be some conflicts that happen. There is going to be some tension with his health. There is going to be some, I think, internal family conflicts as well. There is something that's not going to move forward as he had hoped for it to move forward with that Nine of Cups. And it could be just in general around, maybe he was waiting on something. What energy am I getting here? It's kind of like he has an internal conflict of like trying to appreciate the simple things, but at the same time a smugness, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful or negative way, of like, I'm king but things are not working out how someone who's just become king should work out. Like he's got challenges obviously with his help around him, and obviously Harry in the background, but there's kind of like he still feels there's unmanifested dreams even though he's got the chair here, and so there's going back a bit of back and forth between maybe unfulfilled desires and also appreciating the simple things during this moment in time. Split the deck. And the advice is to just focus on the calm and the peace, and don't get yourself caught up in this energy of internal conflict, because it's not going to serve you. So that's what we need to know during this moment in time. I'm going to pull cards, 2 rows, and I'm going to see if you can guess what I've asked, okay? Let's do it that way. I don't know if I've missed anything that we could have asked. You can leave them in the comments. If you're a subscriber, I'll pick it up. Okay, so unbelievable. Okay, I've asked a question. The question is, there's 2 people here. I've asked, how does King Charles right now in September feel towards Prince William, and how does he feel towards Harry? Which row is Prince William? Which row is Harry? Is it a hard one or is it an easy one? Pause the video and make a comment while I'm on this. If you're on the live premiere, make sure you put a comment afterwards of what you voted. Which one do you think is Harry, and which one is William? Okay, so we've got Prince William and we've got Prince Harry. His feelings towards Prince William right now, I think he's got some regrets of the way he was when he was drawing his father at late time. And I think this relates back to also his voice. Look at my voice now, I'm losing it. I think he does have some regrets, maybe the way he turned his back in a certain way or was not present for the children. Maybe the way they needed in an emotional capacity is what I'm getting here. He thinks William is, he's really proud of William. He thinks William is going to be successful. And he also thinks that, you know, there's a love also for his grandchildren here, which is absolutely beautiful. He does think that William and the family are going to raise the flag of the monarch. He believes in that. He believes in that in the sense of he believes in William and he loves the children a lot, okay? He thinks there's definitely going to be a victory and a success of William at this moment in time. He believes that a chapter of William's life is coming to an end right now and a new one is opening up. Could this be where they're discussing the monarch? Could this be where, you know, it's to do with him and Princess Catherine's, you know, cancer-free kind of energy and the way they're going to move forward, the way she's moving forward with duty roles, stuff like that. William is at a significant chapter in his life that's coming towards an end and will be starting a new chapter. I am getting here something about either discussing with William a trip. So again, I'm getting the energy of a trip here. And then we go to Harry. And Harry, it's like there's blocked energy. There's blocked energy because of, obviously, Harry's choice of love. But he hopes that there's going to be a new start with Harry. He does feel that the way Harry has acted, and he believes it's fully from Meghan, okay? And his choices around the relationship, his choices that are coming from Meghan, his choices overall, Harry's choices as well as his choices because of being with Meghan have come from a very toxic shadow side of him. But he believes there will be some sort of new chapter in the future. I'm tempted to pull another card. 3 major arcanas. You can see how Harry's relationship with him is the biggest effect on him as opposed to Prince William, okay? And, you know, there's just so much disharmony and a break in communication. He also feels like he's had to give his power away, King Charles, and he will need to for this new chapter with Harry, okay? Otherwise there won't be a new chapter. There's just so much imbalancement in their relationship together, and he feels like Harry, because Harry's his son, he feels like Harry's stolen some of his power because obviously King Charles hasn't retaliated. He feels like Harry's lost a sense of himself as well, and probably some manipulation, and he definitely thinks the partnership between him and his, you know, Meghan is totally imbalanced. So I presume, and I was going to do a reading to say that I believe Meghan wears the pants, and I think Charles sees that very clearly. He does feel that obviously this could mean there's a bit of an addiction here, but it looks like at the end of that, as long as King Charles doesn't retaliate, there could be a new chapter. He also feels like Prince Harry doesn't see his own actions in what the outcome is at the moment, what's caused the outcome. Harry doesn't see his own actions of like actions that have led to these circumstances. So very interesting. Okay, so now let's just get an advice card for King Charles during this moment in time. Let me just check that this is recording. Okay, let's have just taking out the instruction cards. Okay, let's have an angel. What is this? An angel message for King Charles. Advice for King Charles for this moment and period in time. Laughter. Beautiful. So this card is really about, you know, trying to see the human everything. Can you remember these 2 cards where I said he's often losing sight of the simple things, which could be also tied to the self-worth thing. And here it definitely says, with laughter, you know, we look at the simple things. We need to look at the simple things. We need to see the humor in everything. And this is advice during this period of time, because when we laugh, we break the energy, and it is a healing energy. So let's see what the card says. And I feel like it also ties in with this card, you know, what I was feeling with this energy here. Laughter is a wonderful healer. It shakes out fear and leaves you feeling happier, clearer, more relaxed. Remember that the angels fly because they take themselves lightly. So make light of difficulties and see funny sides of situations. Laugh at yourself and with others. When you relax and you laugh, your angels drop in suggestions and ideas which can transform difficulty into delight.
Laughter's a shine which dissolves the darkness, so be merry, joyous and fun-filled. I see humor in everything. To be honest, I'm glad I got this card because I felt like I also needed this, and I think a lot of you might have needed this. For me, and let me know if this also stats out for you, is when you relax and laugh, your angels can drop in those new suggestions and ideas, and I feel that that could be solutions around problems that you're not sure how to go through with. But definitely ties in with the reading, which I always love. So this is what we've got for you, King Charles. I wish you see this message, because some good advice here on the channel. I hope the channel grows, because it's good quality psychic work and readings, if I might say. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments, and I shall see you in the next one, everyone. Thank you for those of you that are always supporting. I do appreciate it. Bye for now.